This is the thebisfor podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the thebisfor podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and we are chilling, we are comfy, we are cozy today because we're getting into a very real topic, and I know how y'all like to tussle, okay? So I'm gonna hold your hand real tight when I say this. Your idea of being a girl's girl may not actually mean you're being a girl's girl. So ladies, you might want to sit down, buckle up, and listen closely because we're going to talk about what being a girl's girl really means, what we think it is, the surface level versions of it, and how to really show up for your friends. That way your friends know how to show up for you. And I want you to ask yourself by the end of this episode, not only if you are being a girl's girl, but if the women in your life, if the friends in your life are being girls' girls to you. Also, if you want to have a fun drinking game, I don't drink, so I don't even know why I'm recommending this. But take a shot for every time I say, or a sip, because it's going to come up a lot. A sip every time that I say girl. We're going to talk about really true friendship. So if you're a guy and you're listening to this, same thing applies, or it'll teach you how to look out for the women in your life too, because I do believe in having friends of the opposite sex, and we all need each other and should be able to have a community that is diverse, that has people who come from different backgrounds to make us better. So men, if you're listening to this, thanks for tuning in. Women, if you're listening to this, love yous. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new to this show, welcome. This is going to be a hell of an introduction for you, but make sure that you go check out my first episode. Make sure that you follow the thebisfor on Instagram. I'm going to put the @ right here. Also, make sure that you follow my personal Instagram at Bria Villa, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the things, because it'll help me out. But I also want to make sure that you know when to check in for new episodes. Audio drops every Monday, visual drops every Tuesday. So make sure that you tap into both. And without further ado, let's get into this episode. So this week, the B is for being a girl's girl. What does it really mean to be a girl's girl? A little personal anecdote. I talked about this super briefly on an episode with B. Simone. So if you haven't seen that episode, you can go back and watch it. I touch on it super quick. But I mentioned in passing how there was a time where I sought male validation, and I correlated that with not being a girl's girl. I was like, yeah, I wasn't really a girl's girl. Which in hindsight, like even watching that back, sometimes I watch that moment and I'm like, I think I was honestly being really hard on myself. I'm not saying I've been perfect. And like, yeah, there were points in my life where I was taught societally and by people who surrounded me that women were competition and whatnot. But I don't think I was ever not a girl's girl. So I almost felt like I had to clear that because I think I was just being really tough on myself. But again, there aren't moments that I've been perfect. So do with that what you will. But I think that I've overall always had women's best interest in mind and have always looked out for the girlies. So anywho, I have like this story to tell y'all, and I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but it really explains like when I had this realization about what a girl's girl truly is and what a good friend truly is. So I have to lay the foundation first. I think majority of us understand being a girl's girl as hyping up women, like actually taking the time to hype up women, whether it's on social media, whether it's in person. If you see a girl walking down the street and her outfit looks so good and you're like, oh my God, your outfit looks so good. Or looking out for women at a surface level, like being mindful of women, defending them in public spaces. So, you know, if anybody's giving them a hard time or saying something inappropriate, it's like being an advocate for other women at surface level is being a girl's girl, looking out for each other at bars or at clubs or social settings. Like when a woman stands up and feels like she got her period and she asks a random girl, like, hey, can you like check the back of me real quick? Cause I don't know if I just got it. And like a total stranger would do that for her because that's just a part of the woman experience. Like, or the fact that we sit here and give each other feminine products knowing damn well how much they cost because they are expensive, and giving it to one another when we need it without even thinking twice about it, that is totally being a girl's girl. So I want to be really clear that like surface level being a girl's girl is really important. It really matters. But I think it's just the entry point. So if you are constantly hyping up women on social media or supporting women-owned brands or telling women they look beautiful in public or acknowledging women for the incredible things that they've done, whether that's professionally, whether that's creatively, whether you're in my comments right now supporting me, you are being a total girl's girl. And you are so loved because of that. And I am so grateful for women like you. So thank you. But I think there's like another layer to this that sometimes gets overlooked because we think like, oh, well, I'm just supporting my friend, so I'm being a girl's girl. And it's like, supporting them in what though? Like what are we supporting? Because there's a difference between keeping your friend happy and helping your friend be better. Like, I feel that it's so important for women, as women, to hold one another accountable. Like, accountability in friendships, period, is key. And I think the people who are really looking out for you are the friends that are holding you accountable. Sometimes in life, especially when you're in your 20s, you got to get called out with love. And so I say that more as like, instead of calling people out, call them in and be like, hey, babe, don't know if that's a good idea. Don't know if you should be presenting yourself that way. Don't know if you should be doing that thing for the plot. Sometimes I get it, memories, whatever. But other times it's like, okay, but you're putting yourself in a really unsafe situation, actually. Or you're doing something that you are probably going to regret tomorrow. Or maybe you shouldn't take 15 shots tonight and be incoherent, completely black out, and forget what you did tomorrow morning, and then have the worst anxiety because you just completely blacked out and your friend enabled you to do so. I think something important about actually being a girl's girl is holding each other accountable, being a true girl's girl, and actually looking out for the women around you is also having the hard conversations. It's not just enabling or doing things for the plot and saying, oh, yeah, that's a good idea because it's fun. It's, is that actually aligned with what you want to do? Are you going to feel good about that, etc.? So back to the point on relationships, it's not just saying like, oh yeah, you deserve better, but it's actually pointing out patterns of like, this is the thing that you continuously choose. These are the types of guys that you continuously go for, and you always get yourself hurt, or you always end up in a situation that isn't right for you, or you always end up being miserable. Like maybe you shouldn't talk to this guy. Maybe you're being a little toxic. Like, actually being real with your friends is truly being a girl's girl. I have two stories that kind of pointed this out to me in my life. One of them is someone that I'm no longer friends with. And it is because of a conversation that we had that always stuck with me. And I didn't end our friendship based off this one conversation. It just always lived in the back of my mind. And then it came to a point where I was like, oh, we're just not aligned. But I vividly remember one time she's telling me about a story of this guy, and he's friends with another guy, and she was kind of talking to both of them, and it was getting a little bit messy. And there's a lot of backstory there, and we were super young, but still, I remember telling her, I don't even know why you want to do this. What is the benefit to you? Why do you feel the need to talk to both of them? Can we just not do this? Because I know that there's going to be a lot of like drama that comes from it. And we had kind of gone back and forth on it. And ultimately, she straight up told me, she was like, I feel like I can't come to you sometimes because you're going to judge me and what I'm doing. Whereas so and so, and she mentioned like another friend, is always like down for whatever and supports me and just like lets me make dumb decisions or like do things because it's fun. And I feel safer to go to her and talk to her about things than I do with you because you are just going to judge me. And I remember in that moment literally sitting there and being like, you pretty much just told me that you would rather me enable your bad behavior than call you out for it. And at first I took it to heart because I was like, I'm not a judgmental person. Like, I'm not judging you. I'm literally holding you accountable and saying, you probably shouldn't do that. Especially when you're sitting here telling me all the time how badly you want a boyfriend and how much you want to be valued and all this stuff, but you're doing things that are not aligned with like what the end goal that you have is. And so I was like, am I like a bad friend? And then I realized after more reflection, I'm like, oh no, that was just like gaslighting me because you want me to just enable you and the stuff that you do when I know that it's not good for you. And I'm the one who also has to hear, why don't guys pick me? Or like, why am I not in a relationship? It sucks. Like, nobody takes me seriously. And I'm like, I have to deal with both sides of you saying that you're making these decisions and you want me to be like, yeah, girl, do it. And I'm like, you shouldn't do it. I've seen a lot of friendships where people are like, whatever makes you happy. Like, do your girl, have fun, do it for the plot. To me, that's not being a girl's girl. You're just being an enabler. And fast forward, there's other relationships that I've literally had to tell my friends, like, I actually can't watch you be in this relationship anymore because you continuously choose something that hurts you and you continuously put yourself second and you deserve better. And I can't pick up the pieces as much as I want to be here for you and have been here for you. I can't watch you continuously choose this cycle. Like, something has to change. And so I literally had a friend who, her and I fell off because she was in a relationship that she knew wasn't good for her, that we had so many conversations about it not being good for her, that it got to a point that after years of her continuously choosing this relationship, I was like, I can't even have this energy around me anymore. I'm trying to hold you accountable because I really genuinely believe that you deserve better. And I believe that you deserve better. And you're still choosing this. And so there comes a point where I'm like, I just can't watch you do it. I can't sit here and talk to you about everything else in your life, but not about your relationship. Like, that just feels so, I don't know, not like a real friend. It's like I'm just like turning a blind eye to like one of the things that impacts you most in your life. And on top of that, your man don't like me because I'm sitting here seeing it for what it is. So it ended up like putting a riff in our relationship, and now we're friends again. And she just got out of this relationship, and literally she's going to have to heal so much from the relationship that she just got out of. And I'll say that she's literally like a survivor. So there's a lot that ended up unfolding, but nonetheless, it's like I, as a friend, am always going to, I've been told that I'm a truth teller. Like, when you sit down and you talk to me and you share things with me, I will tell you the truth about how at least I feel in the situation or what I'm seeing. I won't ever like sugarcoat things or tell you that it's fine. Like, I just want you to be happy when it's not fine. And yeah, you may experience a little bit less pain and suffering right now, but in the long term, like, it will impact you. So nonetheless, an enabler friend is not a good friend. The good friends are the ones who are like, I don't think that messing with this man is a good idea. I don't think that you moving this way is going to get you the outcome that you want. That is being a girl's girl. You are actually looking out for the betterment of the woman who's sitting right in front of you. That is being a girl's girl. Don't sit here and tell me that when you tell your friend to do it for the plot, or you want to go out and your friend don't really want to go out, but you want her to go out with you when you know that she's really not trying to go out because she's trying to save money, or she's not trying to drink, or she's trying to lock in one time that you do want to be out. And it's like, no, come with me. It's fine. Like, blah, blah, blah. That's just being selfish. Like, your friend just told you what she does and doesn't want to do. And you're like, no, it's fine. Like, it's fine for this time. Enabling or having your own motive and trying to pull people into that motive. Like, that's just not being a girl's girl. You may sit there and tell that girl same day, you look beautiful. Like, you're killing it. I'm so proud of you, all this stuff. But if the actions that you do together ultimately don't align with like the purpose that you both have individually and in your friendship, then it's not really being a girl's girl. I hate to break it to you. I also think like an indicator of a good friendship and truly being girls is the willingness to receive too. So my best friend and I just had like a real conversation where I was like, babe, I'm telling you this because I love you, but this certain thing that you're doing, I think is going to end up hurting you down the road. And I don't want to see it end up hurting you. So I just like want to bring it to your attention. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to operate in your life. I just am trying to look out for you and say, this is something that may need a little bit more focus from you or attention from you, because I think you're in it every day and you're not necessarily seeing it, but I'm seeing it. And I just like want to tell you this. And she sat there and she was like, no, I really appreciate you telling me this. Like, I needed to hear this from you. Your opinion means so much to me, etc., etc. That is a girl's girl, because not only are you willing to receive, but you're not automatically on the defense. Nat holds me accountable all the time. All my closest friends hold me accountable all the time. If it's something that I'm like heading towards, my friends know and they be on it. Barb will literally check in with me and be like, how's this certain thing going? Because she knows that I got stuff that I'm trying to get done, and she'll be like, okay, where are you at with it? Like, that is a girl's girl. Like, that is a girl's girl. Like, you are actually, it's not just the surface level stuff. Like, you are truly empowering the women around you. You are truly uplifting the women around you. You're giving them the space or the voice that they need at times when things are hard. And being a girl's girl is also showing up in the moments that are hard, not just when it's easy. Showing up when like you are really down bad and at your worst. Sometimes those enabler friends are also the friends who don't really show up when you need them to show up. That is just being a friend when it's convenient. And I think something I learned that's different about my early 20s versus my late 20s is my early 20s, I had a lot of those like going out friends or like partying friends or like friends for certain things. And now in my late 20s, I have my core group of friends. Granted, they all have different interests in different things, but at the end of the day, they all serve a huge purpose in my life that is similar. They hold me accountable. They love me unconditionally. Obviously, me the same to them. But any single one of them I can go to with the hard stuff in my life and know that they'll be there for me and that they'll also check me if there's things that I'm just moving out of pocket with. But my friends in my early 20s, not all of them I could do that with. Not all of them I could be vulnerable with and share that type of stuff with. And it slowly started to reveal itself as I just matured, got older, and got more aligned to who I truly am and where I want to be. But nonetheless, being a girl's girl is literally holding your friends accountable. Obviously not in like a judgy way. Like, you don't want to come off as like a hard place to land. Like, I try my best to be a soft place to land, but sometimes you do have to be like stern with your friends and be like, girl, stop. Nat and I literally check each other all the time of like, stop talking to yourself like that. And we don't even need to be like sweet about it. Like, honey, stop talking to yourself like that. We really look at each other and be like, girl, stop. Like, literally stop talking to yourself like that. because her and I are both such perfectionists that like we'll be really hard on ourselves sometimes, and we'll like vocalize it out loud, and then we'll check each other and be like, we said that we're done doing that. Like, no more. You're done. And even like we're both fasting right now. By the time this comes out, the fast may be over. But yesterday she was complaining to me because we gave up sweets entirely for 40 days. And she was like, oh my gosh, like I just want mint chocolate chip ice cream right now, like so bad. And I look at her and I go, don't talk to me about it, talk to God about it. That's the whole point of the fast. I don't want to hear the complaints. Talk to God about the complaints. And like, granted, of course, like she could talk to me about it, but it was more like that was my way of holding her accountable and reminding her, like, this is why you're doing this, you know? And so I know I've talked a lot about like how I've held other people accountable. I've had people in my life hold me really, really accountable too. But to be fair, I am really introspective and self-reflective. So 9 times out of 10, I'm catching myself on my own shit, but I'm vocalizing it to my friends. But nonetheless, this isn't about me. This is about being a girl's girl. I just have to share, obviously, from my perspective. So I think sometimes we get things twisted of being a girl's girl doesn't mean enabling toxic behavior just because you love your friend. Being a girl's girl also doesn't mean tearing men down to build women up, because there are good men out there, and like this is something I've had to learn. Although I've dealt with a lot of ain't shit ass men, and I will say that, I also know some very, very good men, and Nat and I hold each other accountable in this of like, anytime that we say like a comment like men ain't shit, blah, 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 like an overall general comment, I'm like, we keep saying that and we're going to attract more ain't shit men. Like, we need to be better about just uplifting ourselves, and then what comes from that will come from that, and also vocalizing the behaviors that we do like. So Nat's really good about keeping me accountable to that one. So what being a true girl's girl in action is encouraging honesty in friendships. So an example is saying, girl, you are so much better than this, versus, oh, whatever makes you happy. Like, no. Not whatever makes you happy. It's you are better than this. You should know your worth. If you see the women in front of you or woman in front of you not understanding or knowing her worth, it is your job as her friend and as another woman, not always your job, but part of your job in a friendship is to help her see her worth. Show it to her, remind her of it in the moments that she needs reminding. That is being a girl's girl. Also, choosing long-term support over short-term support. Being a girl's girl is saying, how is this going to impact you long-term versus how is this just going to make you feel better right now? And helping them see the long-term thing, because that's what I would want someone to do for me. Reminder to be a girl's girl towards yourself, by the way. Also, showing up for your friends in every season of life and creating a culture of real sisterhood where you genuinely look out for each other, where you hold each other accountable, not just Instagram feminism, which granted is needed at times, not just like Instagram for show, like commenting on each other's stuff, but then you go and talk about that girl later. Like, that's not being a girl's girl. That's being fake. Okay. But even in the long haul, it's like not just enabling someone on Instagram because they're doing whatever and posting whatever because you think it's cute. It's like also checking them on the side of like, hey, I don't know if that came off the way that you meant for it to come off. Like, I'm just trying to look out for you. That's being a girl's girl. Okay, so to round us out, although yes, like all those surface level things are important and like it's a great starting point to like looking out for your friends and truly being a girl's girl, real girls look out for each other, support each other, show up for each other, and are honest with each other, even when it's hard to be honest. Even when it's like, it's uncomfortable. Because that is a real friend and that is a real girl's girl. So to me, the best type of relationships are a mix of love and accountability. Has to be. Otherwise, what are we really doing? So ask yourself, I want you to ask yourself, are you truly supporting your friends? Or are you just making them feel good? Are you truly supporting your friends and what they want to do and helping them get better and helping them grow and helping them feel loved and helping them see their worth? Or are you just making them feel good? Ask yourself. And then I want you to ask yourself, what are your friends doing for you? Are they truly supporting you, showing up for you, being there when you need them, holding you accountable, or are they just making you feel good? Serious question. Be the friend that actually looks out for your girls even when it's tough. Be the friend that holds your girls accountable and asks your girls to hold you accountable too. Be the friend that shows up no matter how hard it gets and still leads with love, but is also very honest. You can be honest and kind. Simple, straightforward is kind because you're actually looking out for your friend. If I'm going out and my outfit look crazy, please tell me. Like, don't have me looking crazy. If I post something on Instagram and you're like, I don't know if this is a good representation of you, tell me. That is what a friend is supposed to do. That is what being a girl's girl is. Don't have me out here looking dumb. Okay? So, be the friend who actually looks out for your girls, not just the friend that's like there for a cute time or there for the plot, etc. And if you have friends who are doing things like that, but that's not really aligned with what you want to be doing, evaluate. I recommend evaluating. So, all that to be said, I hope that you really like this episode. I think it's so important to show up for the women in your life, to be girls, and to do so with accountability and with love and with honesty. So, if you are listening, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching, great to see you. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, rate, all the things, follow. And we will be back with another episode next week. See you then.